You know why? It's because they're talking about the Mississippi River there, Mike. We're both chugging along on our Mark Twain adventures there.
What's going on in the Mississippi?
Well, Mark Twain is a man of the Mississippi. I don't know, nothing now. I'm just saying, I bought you the adventures of the Tom Sawyer there. The reason I was so inspired to do so is I purchased the American literature novel where they have like Mark Twain's Mississippi writing. So I got the Tom Sawyer, the adventures there. I have his entire chronology or analog that he did of his Mississippi writings, which is basically the history of the Mississippi, and it's outrageous. And then it's followed up with a little Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, the depth to which this man goes down the history of the Mississippi and just the history of the world during, when we were discovering the wonders of the Mississippi, it's pretty wild stuff, man. It's like the Nile of the North America.
Yeah. Imagine how boring it was back then. You got obsessed with a river. Well, I guess a river's better than Taylor Swift.
Well, you didn't have Pornhub back in those days, right? So instead of Pornhub and jerking off nonstop, you're staring at the river and thinking like, oh, wonder how long this thing's been here. Where does that river bend go to?
Let me go read a book about this.
Well, not even that, man. Like the CCR back in the 50s and 60s, the Creedence Clearwater Revival, and John Fogerty hanging out there just writing tunes about the river bend and what lays beyond, and you know what I mean? Like simpler times, dude, and pondering simpler thoughts, but thoughts nonetheless that I could sit here in 2024 and reflect almost the same on it, you know what I mean? Like it's amazing how we could go through amazing, drastic, crazy cultural shifts on a piece of land, but throughout those time frames, the Mississippi rages on, man.
Just keeps on rolling.
It keeps on rolling down the river, dude.
It's rolling down the river, if you will. Yeah, I heard they're having a big problem down there at the Delta. They're like, pretty soon New Orleans won't exist.
Well, I mean, that's just nature taking its course, right? I was thinking about climate change the other day, this focus on the climate change, and how it truly is an absurd argument just in its nature of the two words, climate change. Man, you guys are the party of science, the group of people who are all about worshiping the data and, everything that we've accomplished in our modern era insofar as mapping our world and the history thereof. Doesn't the Earth just go through nonstop climate change on its own? Like, do we really have any impact in the long term, man? Like, the whole science and nature of Earth is changing climate, dude. We go through ice ages and Jurassic periods and back and forth and in between nonstop for billions of years.
Yeah, and even if you want to say we're pushing it a certain way, show me a plan that doesn't involve eliminating most of the population.
Did you see what they discovered around Saturn? It's a moon called Mimas, I believe. Mimas?
Yes,
Mimas?
Yeah, that has all the oil.
Oh, not just that. They claim it's basically an ocean moon, like a moon made of water. It's just like...
Oh, I didn't see that.
I think that's their new thing. Like, maybe the oil is underneath it, or maybe you're talking about another moon.
Yeah, there was this moon that they found that has, like, all this, like, methane and stuff, and everybody's like, wait a minute. I thought you said that came from fossils. That's why we call it fossil fuel.
The dinosaurs, if I'm to understand our current science, right?
How can it exist on these planets that never had fossils?
Have you seen the videos of the Saudi fellas out there saying that they have indisputable evidence that there are rivers of oil flowing throughout the earth?
I'm sure there is. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever run out of oil.
I think oil is pretty much a natural part of the earth.
Remember
system.
peak oil?
Oh, that's my favorite thing in the world. Yeah.
Peak oil. For those that don't know, we were all supposed to worry about like it was like 98 or 99 was going to be peak oil. We were going to have mined half of the world's oil, and now it was downhill from there.
Well, our
Running
answer, I thought our answer to it was the Bush administration invaded Iraq and everyone bought a Hummer. Right? Wasn't that our solution to peak oil?
Remember, it disappeared. The Saudis laughed at it. We went way past that deadline, and then everybody looked around and was like, "Oh no, it's because of the tar sands." Technology got good enough. We'll never run out of oil. Well, we're gonna run out of oil in 30 years now because of technology.
And by the way, we took a hard left on green energy, and the Saudis and everybody else took a hard right on we're just gonna do oil all the way, and they're just abandoning their Mercedes in the deserts after they have a fun time driving them around off of jumps. All right, and we're over here like paying $700 for like 10 groceries.
I can't afford anything.
How's the green energy movement working over here?
I
How are
know.
those windmills, man?
Did you see that Bill Maher yesterday?
So I clipped some Bill Maher, man, and I'm totally down to jump all in on it right away.
God, that was a hard one to watch.
I gotta say, I like when Bill brings on like, some guests who are gonna spar it out, dude. Give me a little Van Jones with a little Ann Coulter. Like, that's entertainment, dude.
Dude, I do love how you haven't brought out a Republican yet, and then the first one you do bring out is Ann Coulter. All right. I see what you're doing here, man.
I believe when the devil took the form of the serpent to convince Eve to bite the apple, it was in the shape of Ann Coulter. I'm almost certain that's what the snake looked like. This lady is a creature, man.
She is a creature, dude, from below. I don't know what hole she crawls out of every like year and a half to just make these appearances. It's crazy. Who listens to this lady?
It's a rough. Well,
and then they try to say like, oh yeah, this is the representative of all Republicans out there. Like everybody who ever voted for Donald Trump, this is your spokesman.
Get the fuck out of here. She's actually a well-known, outspoken anti-Trump Republican. I think she's kind of one of the old school Republicans. She has a few detestable ways of kind of saying ideas that I agree with. She just doesn't have the bedside manners that you're looking for in a typical conservative.
And a rough face to look at to boot.
It's all around. I don't know. She's
a ugly person inside and out, man.
Just think she might be one of them reptilian Anunnakis that we hear about all the time. We see the lizards.
Oh, very beautiful for a lizard.
Right, yeah. The lizards, some of them just busting out of their human skin. They can't help it, Have you seen
her, Bill Gates?
Oh, Boris, have you seen the CEO of Pfizer? There are all these videos more lately than I've seen in a long time, but they've been circulating for a couple of years now. I think his name it's not Scott Boras. It's like Boras, Boras. He speaks like he's a Boras guy. He's weird, but he's the CEO of Pfizer, and there's all these clips of him where his like frog lizard membranes are busting out through his neck.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's like pulsing.
Is not swallowing like a human. I'm telling you right now. Like, this guy's an alien. You don't need any more proof.
Bourla.
Yeah, Bourla. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. I mean, come on. Bond villain? Why are all these dudes such Bond villains?
I know. That's insane. Look at this guy. You trust your life to this guy?
You let him spike you up 7 times with an experimental mRNA vaccine? Congratulations, people.
Dude, I'm not even joking. Dude, I'm not even joking about this.
He's an alien, man.
This is the first thing on his Wikipedia. Listen, people, this is the guy you took the vaccine from. Albert Bourla, born October 21st, 1961, is an American Greek veterinarian.
Ooh. Yeah. Don't take that
horse. Who's peddling the horse medicine here, Bourla?
Yes, Yes, man. Yes.
Holy shit, he's not even a real doctor. He's a veterinarian.
Yeah, well, they think we're animals too, Mike. That's how they view us at the top. They're hurting us.
For anybody not worth $1 million is pretty much an animal.